Good evening. We are live. I'll wait for you guys to get in here. And while you're doing that, I will light up some incense. I don't think you can see our friend here. Let's turn that around. Let's see if we can get you guys to see that. All right, we can. There we go. We're going to go down so you guys can see it. So good morning, everybody. I'm gonna sit up a little bit, let you guys see what's going on. Should sit for us. Welcome back to Paranormal Witchcraft, LLC. I am Tobias Josephson, and we are Paranormal Witchcraft. And this is where we approach the paranormal differently. Get this bad boy going. It's a very big piece of incense, very nicely made. I love this brand. Thinking about buying only this brand going forward. One of these days I'll have to show you my drawer full of incense. I have an office drawer that you guys can't see off camera here. See if we can't wake up our friend here, huh? So that being said, I'm going to put that just off camera where you can see the top of it. Welcome back to Paranormal Witchcraft, LLC. Got a couple of things in store for you this morning during our theory discussion. So welcome back. I've turned on our device we will be using tonight for our experiment. Please don't forget to keep hitting that like button at the top of the screen. It really helps out this channel. We got some candles going in the background for you guys. All right. It also highlights my ritual set. All right. And what you see there, well, this one here is a scythe. He agrees with us. It agrees with us. That's a scythe. That's what you'll use for apothecary uses. We'll get into that further into the year. Now, that is an athame. And it's as heavy as it sounds. Now, I'm going to take this off. Oh, it's very sharp. So there you go. Let you guys see it and see if I can get a good view of that. Serrated edges. Both sides. All right. So it has a dual point to it. Very, very heavy duty. All right. So I'm going to put her back because we're not doing witchcraft today. We are doing paranormal. So, but everyone seems to like these when I show them. There you go. Now that is just a simple garage utility hook. Right? You put it onto the wall and it holds my ritual knives on either side of Hecate there. And then if you look below Hecate, we have the symbol of Lilith. So that being said, good morning. And also what you guys cannot see below us is, we have tarot decks here, etc., etc. And we do have some other incense burning up here. Don't know if you guys see that or notice that, but there you go. So that being said, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Paranormal Laboratory. This is our theory discussion at 11, where we return at 8 o'clock. We'll bring our friend back. All right, I believe tomorrow starts a new.
Yes.
He's going to be there. It's going to be there. And tomorrow night we start a different device for experimentation. Welcome back to the Paranormal Laboratory at 11 a.m. This is where we and you
Yes.
and our friend agrees, we examine the theory. At 8 p.m., we'll run an experiment and we'll invite our guests back. Because belief without testing is what? Storytelling. Okay? If you don't have any proof to back up your words, get it? Got it? Okay. Let's move on. Chaos without structure becomes bad investigation. Today, we examine the hidden variable in paranormal communication devices. Once again, we're looking at ourselves, the investigators. We'll see you later. There goes little spook butt. So let me turn this, and then we'll open up the camera a little bit.
Yes.
He agrees. So while we're doing that, this guy is going to be right next to us. I don't think I can leave it here for you guys to see it. Nope. But I'll put it right there. Because we're about to light something on fire. That's right, you heard me. Good morning. Welcome back to Paranormal Theory, Paranormal Laboratory, right here at Paranormal Witchcraft, LLC. All right. What you don't see, and now I'm going to move it up, is, don't worry, it's on a fire-safe material, and we have a coffin nail behind it. So that way I can grab the handle in a few minutes. So what we're going to do is, I found the card I was looking for a few days ago. We are going to burn the world. This is a major arcana card. All right. And what I have in here is a little bit of unblocker resin. I have a little bit of dragon's blood resin. And then I have some beautiful, gorgeous, green, sexy as fuck, good luck, prosperity.
No.
Resin in green. So yes, I'm sorry to disagree with you, but we're going to burn this as a literal small ritual that everybody can do, even religious people. Okay?
Yes.
He agrees. Now we're going to light this on fire. I'm going to sit back because I have long hair and I have lit myself on fire.
No.
Yes, I have lit myself on fire. I can tell you guys that because I lived it. Thank you, though. What I've done is poured a couple drops of Florida water on there. And that's going to help activate the piece of charcoal you guys saw. All right. And then once I see the smoke rising here, we'll be getting to it. And so while that's burning, let's continue. Because belief without testing becomes storytelling. And because all this chaos, escalation, and instability that we're finding around us with paranormal investigators is investigation structure without structure. And that's simply just bad investigation. Today, we're going to once again examine the hidden variable in paranormal communication devices ourselves, the investigator. Okay. You have anything you'd like to add to the conversation, our friend? No? Okay. So here's a question for you again. Please feel free to answer the question we left in the chat for you above. Please think about sharing this with other people if you find anything you've learned here interesting today. And think about subscribing if you really like what you've seen over the last 5 days. When investigators use a communication device like an epoch box here, what do you
No.
trust more? I'll finish the question since he answered ahead of us. What do you trust more? The device response that it's giving or the paranormal investigator who's interpreting the response? Do you trust the device or do you trust yourself, the investigator? The device response or the investigator interpretation. That's the choices you have. The device under test is right in front of you on the screen. This is what we call an epoch box, everybody. Okay. It has simple yes, no, or yes, no answers. Yes, no. Okay.
Yes.
It's giving you a demonstration right now, but it could be because I was touching it. Tonight's experiment focuses on the epoch box communication device. This device rapidly scans radio frequencies, producing fragments of audio. Investigators sometimes interpret these fragments and call them possible communication. A lot of people will call it evidence before they've even had a chance to review it in their pod streams, etc. That's why Chris is typing baseline, baseline, baseline. Notice he's not saying it's a spirit, it's a spirit, it's a spirit. Do you see the difference here? Okay. Have you ever watched investigators hear completely different things from the same communication device? No. In science, experiments fail when a certain variable is not controlled, meaning it can't be repeated. You're going to debate with me on this? You disagree? Okay. Show you guys how this is doing now. And I'm going to shoot another flame in there. Give me a second. All right. Almost done. So, in science, in any science across the world, experiments only fail when one variable that they're trying to achieve and repeat. That's how medicine works. If it works in a certain number of patients,
Yes.
thank you for reading my mind. If it works in a certain number of patients, that's called a clinical trial. Okay? For the public out there. So when an experiment fails, it's because a variable was not controlled. In paranormal investigations, which were experimenting with devices, literally, the behavior of the investigator is rarely, if ever, controlled. Look around. It's not hard to figure out. Look closer. Look at the pattern. Look at the words we're trying to share with you guys. Step back. Do some self reflection, even if it's a group you love. Think about it. Are they accidentally? In paranormal investigation, the behavior of the investigator is rarely controlled. If your mental state and your emotional state is off, you can probably expect, and this is one of my theories now, is that we are probably affecting our environment, guys. Somebody's got to ask the questions. We've got to start talking about these things. Expectation, emotions, interpretation. Your brain starts filling in the gaps, like we've said. Your ears start filling in the gaps. They take the sound you heard or the thing you felt and they relate it to the closest thing. etc., etc. Now, that doesn't mean all of it is escalation. Some of it is human reaction and is true, but most of it is us not paying attention to ourselves. Expectation, emotion, interpretation influence how sounds, sights, and things we can sense are understood in the dark. Here's a prediction moment for tonight. Which influences communication devices the most in your personal opinion? Random audio fragments, type 1 if you think it's radio audio fragments. Type number 2 in the chat if you think it's investigator expectations. So I expect to get something. Type number 2 if that's what you think it is. Or 3 if it's actual spirit interaction we're getting here this morning. Which one do you think we are experiencing? It's a fair question. Anybody can answer this question. You're looking at the device with me as I'm talking to you. So tonight's experiment at 8 p.m., we will run another paranormal laboratory experiment. This one is number 6, using, again, the epoch box. Experiment 1 will be the containment over chaos, evidence over egos. Experiment 2, you don't want that one today. Okay. Experiment 2 will be escalation and chaos protocols, questions that will extremely influence responses. And so if there's nothing here, there's nothing here. We've called it out in the second one. We've been nice, and then we kicked in the door. And the third one we will be using is silence. All right. No interpretation, no questions, just absolute peace and quiet. And we let this device do what it's going to do in this environment. And we do it together. Just observation for the third one. So a prediction moment for you guys. During which phase tonight, like last night, do you think this epoch box will respond the most? Type A in the comments below, again, if you think it's containment over chaos. Type B if you think you have to run and chase these goddamn things and be rude as fuck and kick in their doors. Escalation and chaos tactics. Or number 3, if you think the actual silence of just pure observation might be a better way to go. All right. Remember, everyone is welcome here at Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. I am a practicer. I don't advertise that I'm a good witch, but I am. Okay, so everybody is welcome here. All right, you don't have to be a pagan. You don't have to be a witch. You can be religious who goes to church. All right, we are mainly here for the paranormal, but the witchcraft I will do here will be stuff like tarot, incense, ruins, okay, stuff that even religious folks can get in on and engage here and not feel like you're going to have an existential crisis. Okay, we don't want that from anybody. Okay. So trust me when I tell you guys, I do think about that. When I think of the audience, I think of the audience of mainly being religious folk. Okay, and I want to be respectful to you all. All right, but it's okay that we commingle in this community on YouTube. All right. So that being said, let's continue. Containment over chaos for those who are just tuning in. The paranormal field moves forward through better investigations, and that's all we are really trying to do here at Paranormal Witchcraft. Is we are just trying to find better ways and ask deeper questions for our personal research, like Matt Hornick at Blue Mountain asked.
No.
Yes, he did. He asked a question. He often wonders if humidity could affect the environment with this device. There's a battery space in here in the back. You open it up, there's wires, there's metal connections. What if the humidity affects these? It's a great question. I hope he finds out.
No.
No? Well, our guest doesn't want him to find out. Please, Chris, hit that like button or put it in the comments if you want. Let's see if one of the other engagers will going forward after today's live. All right. So, containment before escalation, guys. There's so much escalation and instability in the paranormal field in general right now. Okay. I mean, completely. Remember, your investigation tactics are a mirror of who you are. So beyond your name, people look at your business. And if you're using escalation, and if you're one of those people on TV doing it on purpose, now the folks following us are going to know what's up. All right? Show your work to the whole world or turn off your cameras. The paranormal field moves forward through getting better at investigations, not lazier, by pulling out every single device that people are making. The best device you have in paranormal investigation is yourself. Just like in your religion, if you're Christian, if you're Baptist, if you are Catholic, doesn't matter to us what you are, but think about it that way. Your investigation is very similar to your personal faith. And if you're showing people fake, eventually people are going to figure out you're purporting your investigations. And your investigation, replace that word with faith, isn't founded, has no structure. People shouldn't believe it. Okay? Think about those words when you look at other paranormal investigators. How strong is their investigative beliefs? Are they performing for you, or are they trying to show you something is there? It's only for you guys to decide. Okay? The fact that this channel is growing at a snail's pace, that's what happens. Okay? Because we attack the paranormal differently, literally. Okay? Because everybody else in the world, Chris and everyone else here, is doing it the way everybody else in the world is doing it. There's very few trying to get ahead and do different things. Dogman TV, Blue Mountain Paranormal, Goldfish Paranormal, Paranormal Witchcraft, LLC, the Ghost Finders themselves, that group. There's few good ones out there, but the problem is 90% of the people around you, including the people on TV.
Yes.
Say that again for the camera. 90% of the people around us are not
No.
telling us the truth. You see that? They want you to give them your money, and then they want to lie, and they want to dress up, and they want to fake the investigation because they think 90% of the people around them will buy it. That is what's called escalation and instability paranormal investigation practices. That is not where anybody should be starting to come from looking at the paranormal field, especially if you're religious, especially if you're skeptic. It's not about the performance.
No.
Thank you. All right. I have friends around me who would agree with you, Phil and Matt and many others. Okay. It is no longer about the performance. It is no longer about the sensationalism. It is more about the human connection to the paranormal, the divine, the supernatural, and the metaphysical. Those days of ringing bells and getting attention should be over if you are here to get validated and credible evidences. We can't make that choice for anybody else out there. We are coming from a place of true authenticity. All right. And that's going to make a lot of people very, very upset and very uncomfortable. All right. But we're not here for them, Chris, right? We're not here for these people. We are here for the 1%ers, the ones who will get the message. The paranormal field only moves forward through better investigation practices. Containment over chaos, we believe, could be one of those practices. You'll have to stay tuned. You'll have to catch every live stream to know that. Otherwise, you're going to be what we call the other 90%. If you're not staying in here, if you're not sharing, if you're not liking, that tells me, its owner, that we don't need you as an audience member or a subscriber, because that means you don't see any value in what we're doing. And so that's why it doesn't bother me. The one percenters we will find by attraction, not promotion. Does it make any more sense now, Chris? We don't have to tag. We just be ourselves. And in time, the universe will attract people towards us. And the enemies will show up. That's okay. The people who don't like us will find their way into these podcasts eventually. All right? I know they're coming. All right? Because this will end up being a lot like Facebook once we get traction. Containment before escalation. Evidence before your egos.
No.
Okay. Our guest says no. Use your egos. All right, but use them in the proper manner. Observation before interpretation first. You can't call it a ghost if no one else saw it. You can't call it a ghost if you can't repeat the pattern. You can't call it anything if it's only done it once. Even if it's done it repeated amounts of times, you owe it to yourself in responsibility to make sure it was before you immediately label it demonic, before you immediately label it a ghost. Perhaps it is a human, perhaps it is a spirit, but we still don't understand enough of what's going on the other side of that veil for all these 90% of the people around us. Thank you for agreeing to say we know with 1,000,000% fact that the 90% of the people around us on TV are right. I happen to be one of the few that disagree with those people on TV, especially. All right? Evidence before egos. So if you have the guts to be different, if you have the guts to be authentic, if you have the guts to return tonight, at 8 o'clock, we will run these paranormal laboratory experiment number 6 using our friend here. Okay? So, that being said, this was for all of you. So, merry meet, blessings, and
Yes.
blessed
Yes.
be.
Yes. Yes.
I'm glad our friend agrees. Let me put this aside. Now, cast iron like this does get very hot. There is a reason for my witch hack. See that? You can see it now. That is to hold this up so I can touch it without getting a 3rd-degree burn. Now we put it on a fire safe device over here that I have set aside. Just like our investigations in my practice work, safety is always first. Now, we're going to show you guys, the people, we're going to take this out because we don't need protection, but it's on the laptop to protect this live stream's energy from nefarious growths. As you see, I will set it right down. What is this? This is a bowl. That's right, just a bowl. Oh, you guys like the Epoch box, so I'm going to put them above here. Well, I don't think he wants to stand up for you guys. All right, you can see him good. This is just an average bottle of water. This is a candle ritual bowl. Going to fill it with some simple water. Going to take 2 regular matchsticks, and we are going to light them, and we're going to drop them like this. If they wander into themselves in any shape, way, or form, then we have spiritual trouble around us. People who don't like us, people trying to do things against you, etc., etc., etc. And you can do this every day. And the goal is you're supposed to change something about your daily routine, do some shadow work, okay? Do a blessing, cleanse your space with the besom, all right, or get some sage burning, so that way you cleanse the space around you, so you have no more problems on social media, no more problems in your plans, your work life, etc. So let's get started. We're going to hold these in a 45-degree angle, and we're going to take this lighter and hold it at arm's length so I don't light myself on fire. These are real, so the sulfur will activate. We will take them, separate them, right? Going to let them burn out, and then the chemicals from this will react. Right. See if I can't bring you guys in for a closer view here. We'll shut this thing down. I moved it, so. Shouldn't move it after you drop. Okay. The goal is if there's something wrong, metaphysically and divinely, these will touch. They're not touching. I don't know if you can see them. So that means we are safe. All right. So that means you're safe. They aren't touching. All right. So now all you do is you pick them up and you throw them away. All right. There you go. Pretty cool, huh? It's a basic hack. Right? So maybe you got people at work you think are talking about you. Maybe you think somebody's doing something, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you feel energy, etc. That's just a really easy way for you to tell if your intuition, whether you're a practicer or a religious person, okay? And remember, all are welcome here at Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. I have a lot of religious friends, a lot of religious family, okay? So I'm not here to judge anybody, and I would hope nobody is here to judge me or us. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourselves a beautiful afternoon. We will see you tonight for experiment number 6 with our friend here. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody here, brother or sister, whoever you are, whatever you may be? We thank you for chiming in. You want to say anything to anybody? You do not. All right, we're going to turn him off now, or she, or it. Not really sure what the etiquette is here when we don't have confirmation of what we're dealing with yet, but very interesting nonetheless. I'm going to leave it right here for later, so this way you guys can see exactly what's going on. You'll probably see that red candle still burning. That red candle, if it burns faster than I think it's going to, we'll see. All right. That might mean something as well. But, anyways, so we'll see you tonight for Paranormal Laboratory Experiment number 6, using once again the Epoch box. And tomorrow we will be transitioning to a different device for 8 p.m. and then a different theory every day. So if you really like this laboratory experiment theory arc, please think about hitting the thumbs up at the top of the live stream. Please think about sharing this podcast with every single group and every single family member or friend you think would like this stuff. We appreciate you, whoever you are out there. I am grateful and thankful for the audience members and the Warrior Witch Army supporters we do have around us. And that being said, enjoy your Sunday. I hear we're supposed to be teased with some good weather here this morning, and then it's supposed to turn around and slap us in the face. So if you are in the Chicagoland area like I am and Chris is, take care of yourself. And for the East Coast, I believe this shit's heading your way once again. It seems like we're playing musical weather chairs, so brace yourselves. That being said, I'm going to go eat some breakfast. I love each and every one of you, and we will talk to you tonight at 8 o'clock. I am Tobias Josephson. This is Paranormal Witchcraft LLC, and this is where we approach the paranormal differently. Have a great day.